we talk Ogden Tobacco Company trading cards, the Speedway trading cards. The tobacco company was founded in 1860 by Thomas Ogden, and he was in Liverpool. And he made those trading cards to boost the sale of his cigarettes. In the late 1820s, Thomas went ahead and made these little Speedway cards and put them in the cigarettes to boost the sales. They actually made the trading cards for several different sporting events and sporting teams, but today we're going to focus on the Speedway trading card. Ogden actually made a series of 25 of these little trading cards, and we're going to go ahead and talk about those trading cards right now. Card number 1 is the Australian Wizard, Frank Alford. Frank won the 1927 Golden Helmet. Actually, he won the first of many Golden Helmets. Card number 2 is the Australian rider, Jack Bishop. Jack was a daring Australian rider, and he broke many track records in England. Card number 3 was Cecil Brown. We know very little about Cecil, but we expect he was a good rider. Card number 4 was the Australian rider, Hilary Buchanan. In 1928, he rode in England at Wimbledon and White City and had much success. Number 5 is the British rider Clem Court. Was the youngest rider of them all. He won the News of the World Award, and he was, like I said, the youngest rider, and he raced in Cairo in 1928 and 1929. Card number 6 is the British rider Tom Crome. Tom was one of the rare riders who rode that pea shooter Harley Davidson, and he actually set a couple track records riding that Harley. Card number 7 was the Australian Paddy Dean. He was the Australian champion. Actually, he broke several records all over in Australia and in England. Paddy was a very good rider. Card number 8 was the American from Fresno, California, Mr. Sprouts Elder. Sprouts is credited for the first United States Speedway champion in 1925. Actually, he went to South America and won the World Championship. They had it taken away from him. Sprouts was a fantastic rider. He rode all over the world, and he was just a #1 rider everywhere he went. Card number 9 is Roger Frogley from UK. Roger was one of the finest British League riders. Actually, he won the News of the World belt at the Crystal Palace. He was just an excellent rider. Card number 10 is the Australian Buzz Hubbard. Buzz was a tall rider, and he was a mechanic, and he won the Golden Gambit Award in Glasgow, Scotland. number 11 is the Australian Vic Huxley. He started racing in 1926 and won the Golden Helmet Award, and he just was racing on all the tracks, and Vic was a very good rider. Card number 12 was the Australian rider Noel Johnson. The baby, he was small, he was reckless, he rode that pea shooter Harley Davidson, and he was a fan favorite. He rode with reckless domain and everybody liked him. Card number 13 was the British rider Jim Kepster. He beat Sprouse Elder in a match race, and he was just a new young rider, and he won the Golden Helmet Award. He was just a really good young rider. Card number 14 was the British rider Gus Kahn. Gus was there in the early days of the dirt tracker. He was actually a pioneer. He was a trials rider, and he won as many as 5 races in one day. Gus was a good rider. Card number 15 was the Australian Cyclone Billy Lamont. Billy started racing in 1924, and he was really good. He actually broke all the track records. He's one of the first dirt track racers, and he just actually was full throttle in the turns. He was a great rider. Everybody liked Billy. Card number 16 was the British rider Alf Metcalf. Alf was a good rider. He rode a Douglas and a Harley, and he sustained a very bad crash, and that put him out of commission. Card number 17 is the Australian Frank Pierce. Frank won the Golden Helmet 3 times, but he had lots of bike problems, chains breaking and engines blowing. He just had a lot of bad luck. Card number 18 was the American Art Pichar. The 28-year-old from New York started racing in 1918, and he raced just a little while in England, then he went back home to race there. Card number 19 is the British rider Reg Pointer. He was a relatively young rider, but he was actually very popular at Wimbledon and White City. The crowds really liked him. Card number 20 is from England, and his name is Mark Seifert. He primarily rode in England, but he was a smart rider, he was a safe rider, and he was just a good, solid, all-around rider. Card number 21 is the Australian Dickie Smythe. Flying Dickie was his name. He went over to England in 1928. He broke lots of records, and he was just a fast rider. Card number 22 was the British rider Eric Spencer. He was just an excellent rider. He won the Golden Helmet, the Silver Helmet, the Golden Gauntlet, and he just won about everywhere he raced. Card number 23 is the Australian rider, Charlie Spunks. He won the Silver Wheel and the Silver Wings competition, and he was popular. He was a reckless rider, and everybody liked him. They liked those wild and crazy riders, and Charlie was one of those riders. Card number 24 was the Australian Ben Unwin. He won the Silver Wings competition, and he returned home to Australia to race in the winter of 1928 and 29. But he was a good rider, and he was wild, and he just did a great job. Everybody liked him. Card number 25 was the British rider, Colin Watson. He rode at White City in Wimbledon, and he rode that pea shooter Harley Davidson. He was really popular. He rode the first dirt tracks there, and he was just a good, solid rider. The Ogden Tobacco Company was in business till the 1960s, and then the business went up in smoke. We'd like to thank the Ogden Tobacco Company for actually making those little tiny cards. They're really small, and it was really neat. The Spear Riders had their own trading cards, and we got to talk a little bit today about the riders in the early days in the 1920s.